जय शिल प्रभुपाद। हरे कृष्ण नाम प्रभु की जय। Welcome all of you for the Soulful Japa summary session 2. So we are going to start today the first cue card, explaining the first cue card. Every cue card is a feeling. The first cue card is also a feeling. But what kind of feeling is that? The feeling of being. Being the servant of the holy name. Being. Being is a potency of the soul. We have got, the soul has got the great facility or has got the great faculty of being in relationship with different situations. Being in relationship with different people, being in relationship with different situations. That is a fundamental thing in the consciousness. Whenever we are in relationship with somebody, in order to be effective in that relationship. I gave an example earlier of a teacher. If the teacher in the classroom does not be in the feeling of a teacher, be in the feeling of teacher. Let's say the teacher also has, let us say he's in the mood of his house. Let's say he's playing with his children. So then he is in the mood of being the father. Being the father. When he goes before the classroom, when he goes into the classroom before the students, if he is in that mood of being the father, can he perform well? No. So he has to be a teacher in front of the students. So this kind of a ego is called relationship ego. It's a relationship ego. And let us say he stands as a teacher before the students. As a teacher, he can do many things. One is he can explain some concept to you. That means he's teaching. Another is, as a teacher, he can also ask you questions to test you. Examiner. A teacher can be an examiner. A teacher can chastise a student. He can be a chastiser. He can be an examiner. He can be an explainer. I'm leading towards some understanding. That is why I'm putting these things before you. The first is he switches over from his father ego or a husband ego, or let us say just before entering the classroom, he is talking to another colleague who is a teacher. So there is a colleague ego, friendship ego. As soon as he enters the class, he switches over to his teacher ego. And as a teacher ego, he can do different things in the classroom. He can do different things in the classroom. He can teach, he can explain, he can examine, he can chastise. So these are all called different doer egos. So first there is a relationship ego and there is a doer ego. This is there in anything. If you don't load your relationship ego and the respective doer ego, it is not possible for you to develop concentration to do something. It doesn't develop any meaning. Your doing does not develop a meaning. When you get onto a bicycle, there's a bicycle rider ego is there. Once that is loaded, then it knows how to handle the direction, the balance, and all these things. So anyway, coming back to the teacher, is a good example. So a teacher, a person can have different relationship egos. I can have a relationship ego with my employees. I can have a relationship ego with my God brothers. I can have a relationship ego with my friends, with my father, with my mother, with my children, with my sisters, with my brothers. So many relationship egos are possible. Now remember, we said japa is a relationship with the Nama Prabhu. Japa is a relationship with Nama Prabhu. What is this relationship? So we should define this relationship. We should understand this relationship. And then that relationship mind slice should be loaded. That relationship ego and the mind slice of that relationship in relationship with the Nama, the japa, how the soul does japa. That means there is a relationship ego that I am the servant of the Nama Prabhu, the Nama Sevak. And the Nama Sevak has got a doer ego. So who is doing the Nama Sevak? So Nama Sevak is a fundamental being. When I am in japa, I am Nama Sevak. I am eternal servant of the Nama Prabhu. To get meaning in the statement that I am the eternal servant of the Nama Prabhu, again, little background is required. Show that. Basic understanding. I know many you're all practicing Krishna consciousness for the long time, for long time. It may not be required, but still it is very important for us to also systematically understand that what is this relationship ego that I should load during japa. That's why I said it's Bhavan Shakti. See how powerful we are. I can load a teacher ego, I can load a colleague ego, I can load a husband ego, whatever I want. I can switch like this. That's called being. Just get a feeling of it. Huh? Why I say it is a feeling. Ego is a feeling, is a being. So the entire japa is about being in relationship with the Nama Prabhu. Huh? You should know your power of Bhavan Shakti, being. And being in relationship means it's for a relationship. Relationship is for what? Relishing. You relish relationship. I'm next 2 hours, I'm going to relish relationship with my Nama Prabhu. Just like you go into the classroom next, 1 hour, I'm going to be, I'm going to relish teaching my students. Or let us say a lover, he is meeting his loved one. Oh, next few hours, I'm so happy, I'm going to be in the association of the loved one. And he'll be completely, he will be that lover and enjoy the relationship with the loved. Of course, in our case, we enjoy serving the Nama Prabhu. I relish serving the Nama Prabhu. I relish calling out the name of the Lord. I relish feeling the unmanifest presence of the Lord. I relish the sound, the sound of the Shakti Avishyanama, the empowered sound. I relish bead after bead giving priti, offering my priti to the Lord in reciprocation to His priti to have come down on my tongue. I relish my relationship with the Lord. I want to be in relationship with the Lord Nama Prabhu, of being helpless. I want to be in relationship of expressing my gratitude to Nama Prabhu. So it's all about being. All 16 rounds is about being Nama Sevak. So the first round, when you load your relationship, you go that you are a Nama Sevak. You are eternal Nama Sevak. Krishna is the infinite person. I am the infinitesimal person. See, very important. In japa, in the case of the example I gave you, the teacher simply is in bodily concept of life. I am a husband, or I am just before getting into the classroom, his wife is talking on his mobile to his wife, and continuously last 15 minutes he's been talking. So he is in his husband being mode. Cuts the call, then he goes inside, then he gets into a teacher being mode. Both these beings, if you see, the identity is I am the body. Now here we are talking about spiritual being, very important. The different experience. Not that is why this fundamental understanding is required. Krishna is the infinite person, I am his infinitesimal person. Krishna is the supreme spirit soul, I am the atomic soul and not this body. I don't want to chant with the social concept of self. Madhu Pandit Das does not want to chant now 16 rounds. That ego is what the society has given me. The society looks at me like this. Who am I myself? Most 90% of the time, our sense of identity comes from people who, how the world sees you, you also think you are that. How does the world see you? The world sees you as your body. And you also think, I am that. So this is called social ego. But when it comes to japa, it is not, we have to switch over from the social ego to Nama Sevak ego. Nama Sevak ego is not bodily Sevak, your spirit soul. And Krishna is the supreme spirit. So Krishna is eternal, I am eternal, and not this temporary body. Next. Krishna is like the fire, I am like a spark and not this body. This is an example that actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives about this definition of soul. Soul is like a spark and Krishna is like a fire. Krishna is the supreme Lord, I am his eternal servant. Krishna is in my heart, I am also in the heart of this body. So I am not in this body. I am not this body, but I am in this body. Krishna is with me. He is my eternal master. I am his eternal servant. And from that, I being the eternal servant, Jivera Surupohe Krishna Dasa, I have a relationship ego of relationship with Krishna's Nama. And I know Krishna's Nama is not different from Krishna himself. So he is before me and I am in relationship with Nama as a Nama Sevak. And as a Nama Sevak, particularly I am in the Japa doer ego mode. As a Nama Sevak, I can have different roles. I can do Sankirtana. I can write a module in Soulful Japa. I can do Japa itself. I can preach the glories of the holy name to the people. So the Nama Sevak itself can have different doer functions, doer egos, secondary egos. First, I am the servant of Krishna. That is your real ego. Now the real ego takes on a relationship ego with the name of the Supreme Lord. So I am a Nama Sevak. And the Nama Sevak, particularly at Japa time, he has to load the doer ego. And the doer ego is the concurrent chanting come hearing ego, the mind slice. We have already trained that. It is already there. So unless these things, this is the mood, this is the being mood during Japa. This is a being mood. Not that I am in the social concept of life, bodily concept of life. Of course, those who are not engaged in self-realization, by default, they don't know anything beyond their body. Doesn't matter, let them also chant Hare Krishna and begin. They begin like that. But eventually, we have to understand that the taste is when the real Japa doer is a Nama Sevak. That means that being rasa has to be there. We have to do Japa with rasa of being the Nama Sevak of the Lord. For that, the background is required. As I said, the Krishna is eternal, I am eternal, Krishna is like the fire, Krishna is Supreme Master, Krishna is in my heart, Krishna is a Supreme Spirit, Krishna is infinite, I am infinitesimal. all talking about a relationship with the Supreme Lord. Now we know that Krishna himself is on the tongue. So why don't you be that servant and then do japa? So therefore, show the first slide, first cue card. You see, the first cue card is Sevak Bhavan Mala. I am eternal servitor ego of Nama. Prabhu, I will obediently follow Srila Prabhupada's command. Now, very important thing. See how beautifully everything comes. Moment you are being something in relationship, all the feelings that are connected to that relationship is the feelings of that particular ego. When the teacher is in the classroom, his teacher ego feelings are different. When the teacher is in his house, his husband feelings are completely different. So the relationship ego is the seed around which Shraddha, delight in hearing, delight in chanting, delight in tasking, forgiveness, Sevak's feelings, Nama Sevak's feelings, forgiveness, Nama Sevak's feeling, gratitude, Nama Sevak feeling is humility, Nama Sevak's feeling is helplessness. Nama Sevak's feeling is that is fully provided, always provided by the Lord, by the Nama Prabhu. Nama Sevak feeling is that the Supreme Lord Nama Prabhu is my eternal maintainer. It is Nama Sevak's feeling. Just see, Nama Sevak is a relationship ego with lot of feelings. These feelings, Sadbhavana. The foundation of Sadbhavana is relationship ego. And this is something that you develop, relationship ego. Again, I'll give you an example, same example I give 2-3 times I given. A man and a woman gets newly married. The man's relationship ego of dealing with this wife has a beginning. Till yesterday, till he got married, he does not have a relationship ego of a husband. Neither she has a relationship ego of a wife. After 10 years, oh, he's got a very, very mature or very grown up relationship ego as a husband, she as a wife. And this relationship ego makes them relate with each other very spontaneously and easily. Is it not? Just see the example. I need to understand. I need you to understand these things. These are all very obvious things, but unfortunately, when it comes to relationship with Nama Prabhu, we don't do it because Nama Prabhu is not seen to our senses. But the dynamics of relationship is the same. It's the same. There, my wife I can see grossly, or my husband I can see grossly. I interact, everything is in the gross plane. Action, everything is in the gross plane, so relationship ego easily builds. Here we are talking about relationship with Nama Prabhu. We are talking about the relationship with the Transcendental Lord, Supreme Spirit. And we say, therefore we say that, even Why do you say you cannot see why do you say that, oh, this relationship is difficult because in the other case I can see grossly my wife or my husband, in this case I cannot see Krishna, so it is very difficult? No, what we are saying is even you don't see yourself. You are a spirit soul. Can you see? You are only seeing your body. When you stand before the mirror, you are seeing only your body. But your spirit soul, eternal, part and parcel of Krishna, this body is not eternal. So therefore, Nama Sevak is a transcendental personality. It is a relationship of your soul. You are in a disciple relationship ego of being a servant of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is your spiritual master, who is teaching you how you should culture your relationship ego with Nama Prabhu. How you should be humble. When you say you should be humble means what? Your relationship ego, Nama Sevak, should be humble. Because who is before the Nama? Who is before the Nama? Nama Sevak. Not your social ego. These are all very beginning levels of chanting because they don't know anything beyond I am the body and my social ego. Doesn't matter. Wherever you are, you begin your chanting. By association with Nama Prabhu, our sense of I will transform gradually. It gets purified. It gets purified to understand that I am spirit, I am not this body. I am spirit, I am serving the Supreme Spirit. Nama Prabhu is the Supreme Spirit. I am the tiniest particle of spirit. I am in eternal relationship with Nama Prabhu. And through this body, when I am in this body, I will engage this body also in Yantra Japa. I am doing Soulful Japa. I, the soul, is doing Soulful Japa. I am accompanied by my gross body and subtle body, which also does Yantra Japa. So training is required. Auto doing is also part of Japa, Soulful Japa. Anything soulfully you do also, because the body has to accompany you. Body can be in auto mode. Body is in auto mode. Just like your soul enjoys eating, let us say. Because any experiencing means ultimately it is the soul. Sukha, dukkha. You are enjoying a meal. So when you are enjoying a meal, you are relishing the rasa of the meal. But while relishing the meal, if you don't nicely chew, you won't even get the taste, isn't it? But chewing is auto doing. So auto doing helps us. Similarly, japa training, auto linking of chanting come hearing each mala. That is auto linking. Because we have trained the mind to link. But offering Kriya Chesta and Jnana Chesta is like tasting doing and tasting hearing. That you have to do. But the linking, because you are trained in mindful japa, when these two chestas come, the moment japa doer, ego, mind slice is already developed. These two chestas, as soon as you give in japa, it will go on to the each nama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. So your relationship ego has a lot of feelings, and it has also got a doer ego. That means a trained what all it should do. Some auto doing is there, plus feeling of chesta. I like to chant, I like to hear, I like to task. I like to feel the unmanifest presence of the Lord by invoking my Shraddha. Shraddha is a quality of the soul. So in this way, if you understand these things, That is why I call the first round as anchoring round. What is the key for anchoring? Key for anchoring is loading the relationship ego. If you are unable to load the relationship ego, it's just like I said, a couple, newly married couple, till yesterday he was never a husband. Now he is a husband. He may not be spontaneous. He may be less learning how to be a husband. Does all of mistake, and then he learns how to be a husband. You know how the married people, two minds meet together. It takes time to adjust. They fight against each other. Still, finally, they adjust, and then husband knows how to deal with the wife. Wife knows how to deal with the husband. Takes time, but it gets consolidated. Similarly, please understand that if you really understand your japa relationship ego as a nama sevak, and what are the different kinds, what is this seva, chanting, hearing, giving the bhavana, what is this seva, this situation, you understand, japa situation. As I said, nama sevak can be in a kirtan situation, nama sevak can be in japa situation, nama sevak can be in preaching situation. But during, particularly about japa, you cannot do japa seva in the mood of a kirtan seva, because the doing of kirtan is different. Relationship is sevak is same. There I am doing this. Kirtan, here I am doing. Preaching, here I am doing japa. So specifically, relationship ego of japa, if you understand properly, you develop it slowly. Just like, does a husband need to know philosophy of doer ego and relationship ego, in order to relate with his wife nicely? No need. It will naturally it will come. But here we need to tell all these things because, it is an unseeable thing, nama. But at the same time, he is present. So all these relationships are genuine. So be patient. Couple get married today, it'll take time. Today somebody has first time you taught him how to chant Japamala. Don't tell him about this relationship ego and all. Simply let him develop his chanting, his normal, like how we do. But now you are come to a graduate level where you want to do soulful japa. And we know devotion service is that of the soul. Not out of social ego you do devotional service. Social ego is I am this bodily concept, I am this body, and whatever I do is for the interest of the body or the extended body. But here I am not doing my japa for my bodily ego, social ego. I am doing it for my soul. When I do for my soul, automatically the needs of the bodily ego, all these things are included in it. But if I do my japa for the benefit of my bodily ego, it may not necessarily be beneficial for the soul. So these are little advanced concepts. But having had patience to learn soulful japa so much, you are already in this stage to understand this and develop proper relationship ego. Now, please understand one thing. All these years, many mistakes you must have done in the relationship with the Holy Name. Just like, let's say, somebody who is a very expert, successful in married life, husband. He will see a failed husband. He will tell, he will become his counselor. He will tell, see, don't do like this. When she says this, you don't do this. You respond like this. So, being trained by a husband, a successful husband, he reshapes his relationship ego and he also becomes his relationship becomes successful. Similarly, simply a doer ego, being inattentive in chanting, not having Shraddha that the Lord is before him, when he does not have Shraddha that the Lord is before him, what to speak of all the other feelings, bhavanas? None of those bhavanas are there. So then you teach somebody how to do soulful japa. Look, this japa is a relationship, japa is not a process. During relationship, in the process of relationship, process is a subset. Just like concurrent chanting, come hearing is a process. But that process is not equal to the flow of chesta from me. It's a combination. So what is very important? First is to well define yourself properly. This is what I did. This is exactly what I did in summary session 1. All 16 different types of bhavanas that the Nama Sevak gives out to the Nama Prabhu. That understanding is very important. That's called japa situation. And then imagine, if you practice soulful japa this way, imagine 1 year from now, how japa will just be a relationship. It's wonderful. When I tell you something, when I give you a task, why don't you, chat with a very pleasurable person? You'll be ready. Suppose I tell you, for next 1 hour, you do some work. Then you think, okay, I have to do this work. Similarly, when you take Japamala, I had to do this work. No. Greatest time, Japa time. It's the greatest time. It's a time for my relationship with Nama Prabhu. It's a time to feel the rasa of Nama Sevak. Wonderful experience you will have. As I told you, after 2 hours of japa, 16 miles of japa, you will feel, if you don't look at your watch, you're not habituated to look at the watch, you will feel that in half an hour I finished, 15 minutes, half an hour I finished 16 rounds. That is a sense of time. When something is relishable, time flies. Just like two people in love. They talk and 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 they talk. From morning till night. And they don't realize, my God, whole day we've been talking. Or whole night we've been talking. Especially with these mobiles now. Talk, 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 talk. You don't feel time going. Why? Because rasa is there. In the same way, when there is rasa, rasa means what? Bhavanas. When there is exchange of bhavanas in japa, how time flies you will not know. And this is not some stupid rasa of some girlfriend, boyfriend, all these things. They're all illusory rasas. We are talking about bhakti rasa. We are talking about eternal, absolute rasas. Rasas that come, each of these rasas that we are talking about, 16 rasas, they are coming out of absolute thoughts of philosophy of Krishna consciousness, absolute thoughts of Krishna, of his devotee, Krishna's glories, all these things. It is coming from the source of this bhavanas are Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. These are not concocted feelings. When a feeling is out of concocted thoughts, it is called concocted feeling. Feeling is feeling. But if the base is illusion, then it's called illusory feeling. Just like feeling. I love somebody in this material world. Feeling is feeling. But the foundation of that is what? I am this body, she is this body, and then I love her. You love her. So, love experience is that of the soul. But it is false. Because it is not based on absolute thoughts. You are neither the lover, neither the other one is loved. It's only a drama. As long as she is in that body, she is my lover. As long as I am in this body, I am her lover. But this is not like that. Therefore, the Nama Sevak is not this body, not this social bodily ego, not this social ego. The Nama Sevak is the eternal ego. I am the eternal spirit soul. I am eternal servant of the supreme spirit soul. It's a relationship between the tiny spirit soul and the supreme spirit soul. It's a relationship between the tiny person and infinitesimal person and the infinite person. It's a relationship between the maintainer and the maintained. It's a relationship between the provider and the provider. It is a relationship between the master and the servant. It's a relationship of the one who is surrendering and who receives the surrender. It's a relationship of the helpless person and the savior. And all these are eternal relationships. So when we are in this world, we have so many relationship ego, husband, children, wife, society, work, colleagues, workplace, and all these things. You should know these are all will disappear. But this relationship ego as a Nama Sevak, next life, if you don't go back to God, if you don't complete your process this life, next life, wherever you take birth, you will see Nama will come to you, you will get initiation, you will continue. Nama doesn't leave this relationship because eternal relationship. You cannot say, none of us can say, this life we are chanting. First time you are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Maybe you're all people, we are all people who just got some little darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years back. Lord Chaitanya walked all over India. Supreme Personality of God had walked all over India. So how many living entities he must have seen and met and told Hare Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. You might be one of them who just met him and he said chant Hare Krishna, you said Hare Krishna. And since that, so many lives you are getting you are chanting. Maybe last life you were Gaudiya Vaishnava. You can never know. And now we have all got desires to preach Krishna consciousness fired by Srila Prabhupada, right? So we never know. After leaving this body, all your desires for preaching Krishna consciousness, you'll be gifted with that. You'll take birth in such a situation where all your desires to preach Krishna consciousness will manifest. Opportunity will come. That is how golden age is going to come. All the devotees, half chanting, 3/4 chanting, whatever it is, they'll all continue their journey and their desires, and therefore this world will be filled with preachers of Krishna consciousness. Generation after generation, it's going to multiply. Vaishnavism is going to spread. Krishna consciousness is going to spread. That is how this golden period of predicted by Lord Chaitanya is going to come. Life after life, Lord Chaitanya is preparing us. 500 years back, he started his mission. Through the parampara, he is training so many. So today, by Prabhupada's mercy, how many people all over the world are chanting their 16 malas? They all have a desire to spread Krishna consciousness. They all want to see Krishna consciousness. They want to spread the glories of Krishna consciousness. It's going to multiply. 20 years from now, 50 years from now, is going to multiply. People think, oh, I don't have money. Why is it that devotees, are all struggling for money? They don't have money to preach Krishna. The money, there so much can be done. It's a fact. If you have such a desire, next life you will be another Bill Gates, Vaishnava Bill Gates. You will say, all my money I am dedicating for spreading Krishna consciousness. Let there be a temple in every village, every town. I'm ready. So you will get the seva opportunity. This is a wonderful thing. Nama Leela, Nama Seva. That is why I said in the beginning of Soulful Japa, we are very fortunate to be born in this particular period. In this particular Kali Yuga, after Krishna appears, Lord Chaitanya appears. We are actually contemporaries of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Krishna. We are contemporaries. In the eternal time scale, 5,000 years back is nothing. Okay, yesterday Krishna disappeared, today I was born. I am contemporary. You are able to hear Bhagavad Gita, everything today, all the words that Krishna spoke is here. So, therefore, you can see the first round is so important. It anchors your Sevak ego and the Sevak ego's Japa doer ego. Specifically to be defined. You have to hear this lecture, this talk again and again. I am not posting these things in that. I am going to post this only in the end. Or whenever I'm still writing, I don't want to post this now. You want to develop your Sadbhavana of each cue card. You can hear this again and again. And I'm not going to post that right now because I am writing. I don't know. I keep on changing it, improving it, and it will not be very, very, as you read, every time you see this change. Some feedback I got from some devotee that some of these modules undergoing so much change. When should I read that? So I told him, after I write, after a week you read. Because this is the way I am writing. I am not writing anywhere else. My writing, my editing, my writing, everything is in this module. Not that somewhere else I am writing and then I am coming and putting it there. So you don't expect these modules to be posted. You hear about these things nicely. Think about it. You also do folio research and you also, build up this. It's something that you all have done, Japa, for so many years. You have to refine your relationship. Just like somebody has been a husband and a wife for 20 years. With good counseling and everything, let's be good husband and wife. Better husband and wife. Similarly, let me be a better Nama Seva. So you yourself can take up this task. When you take up this task of improving these bhavanas, then, triggered by whatever I am speaking, you can, form it easily. I'm not expecting everybody to do that because most of the people just, they want to be taught, they want to be spoken to. They cannot teach themselves. I'm a person, I can teach myself. There are some people who can teach themselves. Some people, they learn only if somebody is teaching them. So this is my task, I'm teaching. But I will post that a little later. Okay, so thank you very much. We'll meet day after tomorrow. Nama Prabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.